Hey everybody, today we're going to do the annual list of ranking every movie we've seen this year. So, let's begin. I will start with number 1. We're doing best to worst, and the reason we're doing best to worst is because we find the worst movies to be funniest, and the best movies to be less interesting to talk about. So number 1, Upgrade. Upgrade was a movie directed by the guy who did a bunch of Insidious movies, and somehow it was fucking great. It was like a superhero crime film.
Upgrade is like Venom if Venom didn't suck.
Yeah, it was basically Venom if Venom didn't suck. And the thing about Upgrade is it was shot super cool, the action scenes were great. Overall, just a fantastic movie. Aiden, what else you got to say about it?
I mean, it was basically like a fucking anime, and I loved it. It was nothing but fight scenes. He just went around fighting people who he had problems with, and it's
well, he was trying to kill
cool
and he killed his wife.
It's cool and underrated and well shot, and there's good action. And it's just like it's a fucking fun movie, and the twist is actually kind of halfway decent. I mean, I don't know.
I watched this movie tripping on acid. I've been talking a lot about acid lately.
Alright, number 2, a movie we just talked about, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You can watch the video that we're going to upload pretty much right next to this one. It's fantastic, beautiful movie, and yeah.
Number 3, Isle of Dogs, Wes Anderson's newest stop-motion film. It's about dogs that travel an island trying to find their owner, and it's a really heartwarming film. Really nicely shot, kind of an enjoyable change of pace from a lot of movies. Stop motion's I don't want to say a dead art, but definitely a dying art, and it's great.
It's so good looking.
It is great looking. I love dogs, so doggies.
Number 4, Creed 2. Connor hasn't seen it yet.
I have not seen Creed 2 yet, but I will see Creed 2.
Since we didn't do a review of it, I'll talk about it a little. Basically, a rehash of Rocky 4. You got Rocky goes up against Creed goes up against Ivan Drago's son, Victor. So Creed goes up against the new Drago, Victor Drago, and Ivan is in his corner. Ivan's in Victor's corner, and Rocky's in Creed's, and there's a lot of retreading.
It's kind of, I really want to see that.
It's kind of rehashy, and it's definitely not as good as the first one, because the first one was just like
so. The first one is in number 4. Or
the first Creed, because the first Creed had just like so much stuff.
I like tear up at the end of Creed.
Yeah, the lights going out in their final fight and stuff. It's just like, but Creed 2 is a pretty good sequel. I mean, it's a boxing movie. It's basically what you expect.
We'll see it too.
It's good. It's super interesting, and I like it.
Next, number 5, we have Death Wish. I would say this is the top Kino of the year. A movie that had a lot of people triggered. Bruce Willis.
Oh my god, people are so butthurt.
Bruce Willis is a gun-toting vigilante killing people because his wife and daughter got kidnapped. Did they even get killed? I don't remember if they got killed or raped or something like that.
His wife gets killed and his daughter gets raped?
No, his daughter doesn't get raped, but
he almost gets raped.
Sexually touched.
And then Bruce Willis runs around going, "I think the fuck not, you trick ass bitch," and blasting darkies out of the air.
Yeah, he's killing everybody, and they're like, "What, is he a good guy or is he a bad guy?" And then everybody hated it.
Triggered a lot of people because it was about guns.
It triggered people, but it was great. It triggered people, but it was great.
Number 6, Halloween. Halloween came back. It's better than most of the sequels,
except one.
Better than pretty much all of them except one. I have a soft spot for 3, so I'll say it's about on the level of 3. It's good. It's a return to form. It's spooky. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis in it. It's good. It's good spooky.
Excuse me. Next, number 7, we got Mission Impossible Fallout. Mission Impossible Fallout was a very cool Mission Impossible, a little more low-key than the other movies, which I appreciated. Henry Cavill was in it. Fucking Tom Cruise was in it. It was the standard.
Tom Cruise learned
The
how to
fight
fly a
scenes were
helicopter for
fucking
it.
badass. And it was a good, more low-key Mission Impossible. Probably the best one that's come out in the last several years. And it was pretty well enjoyed. So,
I'll take that too. At number 8, we have Annihilation. It's a movie that really makes you think. It's a movie about women who go into the woods and there's mutant giant crocodile aliens and weird shit, and then it's pretty trippy. It's got some nice people in it, some cool actors, Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac, and it's by the guy who did Ex Machina. It's kind of wacky looking. There's some really creepy stuff in it. It's kind of a blend of horror and adventure and psychological thriller, and it's
reminds me of some 70s sci-fi. I really enjoyed
it does,
Annihilation. Definitely check out a review on that. Number 9, we got Hellfest. It's what Mission Impossible could have been, or what Halloween could have been. Not Mission Impossible. Nothing like Mission Impossible. Pretty cool little slasher movie. I enjoyed it greatly.
a little heavy on the Halloween derivativeness.
It was definitely inspired by like Halloween, Friday the 13th, that type of movie. And it was really good. I think the cinematography was great. It was shot very well, and I enjoyed it a lot.
We should also talk about number 10 because I did not see it. And going to
Number 10, we're going to do Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go to the Movies was a pretty hilarious riff on the superhero genre. The animation style kind of sucks because I don't love the Teen Titans Go animation, but just even if you are a hater on the show, understandable, but the movie was quite good, pretty funny. Like the scene where Robin thinks he's getting his own movie, but it's actually Alfred's movie. It's pretty hilarious. So Teen Titans Go to the Movies, pretty good film. So, yeah.
At 11, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's a Marvel movie.
It is a Marvel movie. Number 12, we have Hostiles. Christian Bale, Western movie where they ride horses around and they try to get their area back for the Native Americans. Christian Bale doesn't love Native Americans. Eventually learns Native Americans aren't as bad as they truly let on.
I have a weird story that's kind of related. My car broke down at Leela's house one day, and this old lady jumped my car, and she said that I looked like James Brolin, who's the father of Josh Brolin, who played Thanos, but James Brolin looks just like fucking Christian Bale. Look at that shit. That's James Brolin. That's James Brolin. That's Christian Bale. They look fucking identical. It's weird. It's weird how much... If someone told you that was Christian Bale, you'd be like, yeah, that's Christian Bale. He looks just like him.
Weird.
But yeah, that old lady was like, hey, you look... That old lady was like, hey, you look just like James
See,
Brolin.
I don't really see that you look like
it's weird, because they look so similar, but I do...
Brolin, yeah.
I look like James Brolin. I guess that's probably what I'll look like when I'm old, unfortunately. I guess he's not that bad looking for an old guy, but...
Whatever. Anyways. Interesting. Thank you.
Cool. So, next was Solo. It was the best of the new Disney movies, the best of the new Star Wars movies.
Probably the closest thing we've had to a classic Star Wars movie since the original Star Wars.
It's not that good, but it's also not the disaster that The Last Jedi was. And everybody, they put in effort. I hate Game of Thrones girl, but I kind of like Alden anyway. It turned out okay. It's not that great, but it's not terrible.
Number 14, Avengers. Infinity War. Infinity War, Doctor Strange, and fucking Spider-Man were great. And fucking Robert Downey Jr. phoned it in so much you'd think he was in prison. So that is my review of Avengers.
It's a good one.
In a couple words. So yeah.
At 15, we have Bad Times at the El Royale. It's a knockoff Quentin Tarantino movie. It feels like a knockoff Quentin
It's like
Tarantino
Quentin
movie.
Tarantino's worst movie, but
First
still
half is a lot
better
better than the second half. Second half's a little dumpy.
First half is great. Second half's pretty shitty.
It's basically very low-end Tarantino movie. So it's kind of middling.
Number 16, Deadpool number 2. Basically, Deadpool number 1 more edition. Things like the X-Force scene were hilarious. There were a lot of funny gags. And Deadpool, pretty decent movie. That's all I have to say. 8.
Number 17, we had Den of Thieves. We talked about it some. I barely remember it. It had 50 Cent in it.
Ice Cube's baby boy.
Oh wait, did it have? Wait, was 50
I don't think 50 Cent was in it. I don't remember.
I think 50 Cent was.
I think 50 Cent produced it at the very least.
He was in some capacity involved.
I think 50 Cent did something.
It's a heist movie.
No, 50 Cent was in it.
It's a heist movie. It's okay. Yeah.
Tomb Raider, number 18. Tomb Raider was an okay movie where Lara Croft goes around on a world adventure, and it's kind of like a really shitty Indiana Jones clone, derivative of Indiana Jones. Decent for a video game movie. Pretty high tier video
Yeah, as far as video game movies.
As far as video game movies go, very good, but honestly not that great.
19 is Black Panther. It's a Marvel movie. It's Iron Man again, but black.
It's Iron Man but black. Number 20, Sicario 2.
Sicario 2.
This is where the movies, I would say, start getting a little shittier. Sicario 2 had a nonsensical plot that made no sense. It felt like it was written by a 15-year-old that's seen Pulp Fiction 2 times.
Sicario 1 is key.
Sicario 1's great. Alright.
The Predator. You didn't see The Predator. It's a reboot of the Predator franchise. It's half comedic and half corporate reshoots. It's very obvious which parts are reshoots because it's all like on terrible sound stages and it looks terrible. There's a concept about mental illness in the movie that was mostly cut from the final release, and there's more good guy Predator shenanigans because there's a good guy Predator for a little bit. The reshoots really probably made the movie a little worse because it's kind of like a dark comedy by Shane Black, who's known for
Iron Man 3.
He's known for doing kind of goofier stuff, and they kind of cut back on his goofy.
Nice Guys
and also,
awesome.
His first credit is as a soldier in Predator, the original Predator. But this one it's kind of mediocre. There's points of comedy. The ending especially takes a shit because like the last third of the movie's reshot, and it's just like basically unwatchable. But you know, it's a light recommend, I guess.
Number 22, Mile 22, a Mark Wahlberg movie where he goes around shooting a bunch of people, Asian people. There's an Asian guy who does like karate and shit. It's actually a pretty good movie. I don't know why it's ranked so low, but this is how we made the list, so your turn.
23 is Venom. It's
benevolent as I've ever been.
Venom is a Spider-Man movie that can't legally feature Spider-Man, and it's not as bad as Sony Pictures would make you think it was because it's produced by Sony Pictures, but it's also kind of generic superhero garbage, and Tom Hardy is really bad in it, which is kind of weird to say. Anyway, Connor, talking about the next thing.
Number 24, The Meg. This is where movies actually start getting very bad.
I love The Meg.
The Meg is Jason Statham going underwater and fighting a giant shark. It's very derivative of Jaws.
I think
this is a bigger shark.
I'm gonna
sucks dick.
I'm gonna take over here for a second.
Sucks dick.
The Meg should be placed way higher because it is top tier ironic kino.
It's not ironic kino. It sucks.
It's basically a fucking anime, especially when Jason Statham takes the sword off of his ship.
We're at the point where every other movie after this, I just wanted to kill myself.
The Meg is awesome. I love the fucking Meg. I think the Meg should be number fucking 4. It's just like the best fucking movie ever.
Suck my dick.
I fucking love the Meg. Anyway. 25 is Proud and Mary. It's like John Wick if Cookie Lion from the fucking Empire was the main character. And it sucks, but it's not as suck as
it could
other things.
Number 26 is Rampage. It's Godzilla vs. King Kong Light with The Rock, who plays the same character as The Rock always, except he's also a dog fucker this time.
Yeah, he really
Your turn.
Can I say The Rock is a real letdown this year?
The
The Rock normally participates in pure rock kino, like fucking Furious 7.
Yeah.
And this
He
year
did flex the handcuffs off in this one.
he
didn't
no,
flex
it
off
wasn't
his
the
ass.
handcuffs, it was the zip tie.
The zip tie.
Not as good, and he's also in another movie we'll get to on this list, and it's kind of disappointing because I'm used to more from Rock. I'm used to bigger memes.
Weak ass memes.
Number 27 is Game Night, which Connor hasn't seen. It's the guy from Arrested Development, Michael Bluth, and him and his wife like playing board games, and his deadbeat brother comes, and his deadbeat brother's like, hey, I set up a big murder mystery for you to solve. And they have to, but then there's a real murder mystery. And they have to solve the real murder mystery, and they beat up criminals, and it's a comedy, and it's not very funny, but it's funny enough to be passable if you're really drunk, like I was when I saw this movie on Netflix 6 months after it came out, which is not a good place to be 6 months after it come out.
Number 28 is Tag. Tag was a movie that was probably so average that's the issue. It was like not too funny, not unfunny in an ironic way. There was nothing. It was just, it ended up being so average it was nothing. Tag was pretty bad. I was really drunk at this movie. That was probably the only upside. Vaping the fucking clouds out of that theater. Yeah, that's Tag. That's a description of Tag. Tag, you're it. Aiden.
Okay, 29. 29? Skyscraper lands in
Skyscraper, more like Skyraper.
Skyscraper lands in the same place as Tag. It's generic, average. It's basically a knockoff of Die Hard with The Rock, which should be Kino, but it's pretty boring, mediocre, average. I think I was drunk at this movie in the theater, and I spent a lot of it texting, because it was just kind of like, it's not Die Hard, nothing ever will be, and this is just like 2018 generic Die Hard.
Jurassic World 2. There's a girl who's a clone, who's a half dinosaur, and the movie was shitty as fuck.
Jurassic World 2 should be placed higher.
Okay, fuck.
It's
Jurassic
fucking
World
Kino.
2, fuck you.
The first half of Jurassic World 2 should be number 42 on our list because it's fucking terrible. The second half, when it becomes a haunted house movie with a dinosaur, Kino, it's art. It's terrible.
Okay.
So fucking terrible. It's almost The Room level, and I love it. I love it. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is the greatest movie ever.
Okay.
But there was an interview with the guy who's directing Jurassic World 3, and he was like, you know that setup at the end of Jurassic World 2 where it's like the dinosaurs invading Las Vegas? He was like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna make this movie about dinosaurs not invading the world. And it's like, what's even the fucking point? Why even set up something cool where I get to watch a T-Rex storm through Manhattan and tear people apart if you're just gonna do some... Well, you know, I assume they're everywhere, but like, what's the fucking point if you're just gonna make Jurassic Park 3 again and Jurassic Park 3? It's a terrible fucking movie. Alright, so after that we have 31, Uncle Drew. It's a movie about basketball. I don't like basketball.
This movie was made for black people who like Jordans because Jordans were the biggest
Oh my god,
thing ever,
there's
and
so
it was-
much fucking product
It was
placement.
unfunny. It was very unfunny.
Every scene,
There's
actually,
not a funny scene in this
the movie was
that
produced by
laugh.
Pepsi because it's based on a
That
Pepsi
was pretty
commercial.
funny. That was the Kino part. Is that it
The
was
thing,
Pepsi.
I went into this expecting it to be
Pepsi.
like a terrible Pepsi
And it
commercial.
was.
There was points
was.
where it became Pepsi, especially like the last
Scene where there's
last
the
battle
Pepsi
where
commercials.
there's like Pepsi tags everywhere, but it was mostly a fucking Nike commercial. Like every scene, everyone would change their Nike jumpsuit. Like Uncle Drew would get in the car and then
Nike
it'd suddenly be in a
Pepsi.
different Nike jumpsuit, and there was literally a scene where they talked about how much these fucking shoes cost. Like those new shoes that are just coming out as this movie releases cost $120. How did you afford them? Like it's like cringe, but
Yeah, because it was cringe. Okay.
All right, number 32.
32 is Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg's worst movie, including AI. It was basically like, let's pack in every reference to every movie that's ever come out, and every video game, and everything.
As long
that's
as it's
ever
owned by Warner
come out.
Brothers.
Overwatch and Halo and all that crap doesn't even have to be owned by Warner Brothers. As long as it exists, it's in this movie. It sucked dick. The movie sucked dick. It was long. It was
Hurt
boring,
my
it
eyes.
sucked dick. It hurt my eyes. It gave me a literal seizure, a panic attack, herpes. Gave me pretty much everything a movie could possibly give me and more. So yeah.
32, The Spy Who Dumped Me. 33, The Spy Who Dumped Me. It's a generic romantic comedy thing, kind of.
Where they're spies.
But they're spies. It's not Austin
I
Powers.
said that as a question.
It's not Austin Powers, and that makes it
Spy
terrible.
who shagged me, the spy who dumped me.
It's
Derivative of Austin Powers.
It's
derivative.
it's got the girl from Ghostbusters and
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. It's not funny.
The only thing I would do with this movie is a threesome with the main actresses.
It's pretty bad. Anyway,
this 34 Pacific Rim 2.
Pacific
Such a
Rim
mind-numbingly
Uprising.
bad movie. Boring. My eyes bled watching this movie. I was bored. It sucked. I felt no emotion watching it. I just saw a bunch of giant robots fighting.
this
each other
fucking
for 50 hours
stupid
long.
movie.
It was long, and it was stupid.
And I hate
it
John
sucked.
Boyega.
John Boyega. Release the Kraken. That didn't happen.
We are counseling the apocalypse!
That's what I meant to say. I did a Liam Neeson in the Clash of the Titans remake reference. Yeah, your turn, Aiden.
Number 35 is Maze Runner: The Death Cure, and
Don't recall.
I barely remember this
Don't
movie.
recall.
CIA from The Dark Knight Rises was in it,
Don't
but
even
not
recall
enough
this part.
to save the movie. And otherwise, it's like a young adult novel thing,
like Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, and it's generic and garbage,
Like every other
and
one.
CIA doesn't have enough of a role in this movie to make it funny. And yeah, it sucks.
Number
Oh,
36
God.
is Winchester.
This is
was
where the movies
fucking
become
horrible.
unwatchable.
Winchester was fucking horrible. It's about the Winchester Mansion. The movie was not scary.
He's a
It's
magic
supposed to be
ghost
scary.
gun.
Magic ghost gun happens. They shoot people. It sucked. Your turn, Aiden. I can't even remember anything past magic ghost guns. So.
No, number 30, Insidious, the
Ghost Key
the
or
ghost
some shit.
last key. I should have written the name because I
Something
don't
like
remember the key. Insidious
It's
is
not Insidious. But
Insidious is a terrible franchise. Insidious 3 is a prequel about the lady from the seance lady
It's
from
always
Insidious.
prequel at this point.
It sucks, and I hate it, and it's bad, and it's boring, and it sucks, and it should die. The franchise, I mean the Insidious franchise.
38.
Oh, 38 is The Nun, and it's a prequel to The Conjuring, the 5th movie in the Conjuring cinematic universe. And since we didn't review it, I'll talk about it a little. It's about an evil nun who lives at a thing, at a haunted convent, and she kills everyone, and she buries some guy alive, and then they find Jesus. Literally, they go to the catacombs, they find Jesus' blood in a bottle, and this nun, the good nun, not the evil nun, swallows Jesus' blood and then spits it in the face of the evil nun to kill her. And the Conjuring cinematic universe is trash, and the movie's trash, and I hate movies about... The Conjuring is a good movie. The rest, all the movies that are in the Conjuring cinematic universe with a million quotations around it suck. The Nun is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen, and I hate it. And also, I guess I have to talk about 39.
Didn't see this one.
Mortal Engines. I saw this the other day, and it's maybe the worst movie that I've ever seen in my life. And we have movies lower than this, but speaking personally, steampunk is very similar level to furries for me. I think people who are into steampunk are basically furries. I think they should be. I think furries should be in gas chambers. I think people who like steampunk should be in gas chambers. The concept of this movie is so fucking retarded that I can't even believe it.
Aiden is literally sweaty right
It's
now.
giant-
So mad.
Giant cities
We're hot.
that drive around and eat each other for energy. Okay, so the concept is fucked. It's stupid. The cities are made mostly of iron, steel, and brick. Okay, they're Victorian. They're quote unquote Victorian, and everyone dresses like they're in Victorian England and speaks with fake British accents, and it sucks. But like the amount of fucking effort it would take to heat iron and steel to power a steam-powered city. They drive these giant cities over fucking forests. They drive them over forests. There's no way that it's less efficient to farm fucking trees than it is to hunt down these fucking cities and shoot them with... They have laser beams, and their cities have electricities. There's a fucking scene in this movie where they're talking... They have like a museum of old shit, and they're like, we have to save the American gods. And the statue is wobbling, and it turns. The camera literally pans slowly. And they're saving the American gods statue, and it's two gigantic minions. And it's just like from Despicable Me, and it's terrible.
Literally?
The movie, yes, it's literally two gigantic minion statues from Despicable Me. This movie's fucking horrible, and it doesn't make sense.
Or something?
I don't know who it's by, but it sucks. Peter Jackson's a terrible filmmaker. I don't know how he made The Lord of the Rings, but this movie is like The Hobbit 4. It's terrible, ugly CGI. The plot is a fucking mess. The villain, he, for no reason, he just murders people for fun. Even though his entire goal, there's these people, they live on the other side of a wall. You know, Donald Trump and all that. Fuck Donald Trump. These people have normal cities. They have a normal city, they farm things, they have trees and animals, and they just live a normal life. They just want to be left alone. There's like these fucking cities of autists rolling around, these fucking Asperger fucking DeviantArt furries rolling around in their moving cities killing each other. And these people are like, I just want to have a nice normal fucking life and live a fucking farm life. And these fucking spurgs in their rolling cities fly around shooting laser beams at each other. Literal fucking laser beams. And the main villain gets a fucking nuclear laser beam that shoots a laser beam that creates black holes. And it's like, what the fuck is this fucking movie? And I was so bored in the movie, I started reading the plot description of the other books. This movie has fucking cyborg zombies. There's one of the main characters of this movie is a fucking corpse. He's a corpse. He dies. And then they put robot parts on him, and he becomes back to life. They can just do this in this universe. And this cyborg zombie, he can shoot lasers from his eyes, and he runs around. This movie's fucking stupid. Peter Jackson is fucking stupid. This movie is literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And the books, I haven't read them, but I assume they're the worst books that have ever been written. Mortal Engines deserves to lose $100 million, which is what it's lost so far. But if I could, I would make this movie lose $100 billion, because it's the worst fucking garbage I've ever seen. Connor, I didn't see the next movie, so it's yours.
Ocean's 8 was a terrible fucking movie as well. I watched this one tripping balls on acid, and basically the crew comes back together with help of Anne Hathaway. I don't remember the other actresses. Rihanna was in it. I don't remember the other actors. And basically, they steal some sort of diamond or some shit, and it's like Ocean's 11, but it's all women. And it sucked dick, as you can imagine. I saw a lot of movies tripping on acid this year. This was one of them. But it sucked dick. I'm not going to get into a long rant about it. Maybe Mortal Engines was worse. Sounds like it was worse. I just remember, like, Ocean's 8 was one of those movies I just, like...
At least Mortal Engines didn't rape a franchise.
I just watched, and I was, like, sitting there, laying back in the seat, and I was like... Suicide came to mind many times, like killing myself and ending it all, and just never dealing with it again. But, speaking of suicide, we'll talk about number 41, which was the Happy Time Murders. The Happy Time Murders was easily the worst movie of the year. Easily the worst.
Easily the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Easily one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It wasn't funny once.
No.
There was not a single point where I laughed, became laughing. I didn't have to hold back laughter so I could look like I was the cool guy who did not want Happy Time Murders. No, it did it for me. I definitely didn't have to laugh. It was one of the movies where after about 5 minutes, I just wanted to leave so bad I started squirming in my seat. And I'm like, should I?
Connor actually asked me if we should walk
multiple times.
We sat through movies. We sat through Winchester and Insidious: The Last Key without walking out.
or thinking about walking out necessarily.
Happy Time Murders. I was considering walking out. I'm
It
fucking
was like
retarded. I sat through Mortal Engines and Happy
The
Time Murders.
fucking
I was like,
puppets were jerking off and masturbating, coming everywhere. And I guessed the twist about 20 seconds into it. It was horrible. Melissa McCarthy was in it, which was horrible. The movie in general was horrible. It was horrible. It was a horrible fucking movie. And it's like, I don't know what to say, really. I don't have much to say about it. It's just very horrible. It was genuinely in the top 10 worst movies I've seen in my entire life. So,
It's honestly just
it's up there.
the fucking crappiest movie
up
of the
there.
year by far.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I think that's our list. Once again, we ranked our movies we've seen this year. We ranked them. Be crumpling up a piece of paper, the list. Throwing that in the trash. We missed completely the trash. And, so yeah.
Anyway, that's,
2019, we're going to probably see, ouch, a lot more Kino, a lot more crap. And, with that said, if I don't kill myself, we'll see you next time. If you only watch this series, which I don't because our series are so fucking good. Our series of random shit we do on this channel are so great. If you want to drop a sub on this shit, even though I know only our subscribers are going to watch this, all 12 of you that tuned in, thank you for watching. Thanks for making it to this point in the video. If you have, I'm sure our average watch time is about 4 minutes. See you.